So today we are going to be interviewing Lakshitha Karunarathna. He's a very well-known wildlife photographer. In fact, Dr. Lalita asked us to interview him. So let's go see what he's up to and let's go interview him.
Hi.
How are you?
Come.
I'm here to ask you the 20 questions. Is it a good time?
Good time.
Perfect. How's it going, broski?
Not bad.
Okay.
Because of Corona, it's little, kind of slow.
Up and down and slow?
Yeah. Even
okay.
the business is not like those days.
Okay. All right. Well, today what we're going to do is we're going to be asking you 20 questions.
Okay.
It's 20 photographers, 20 questions. We want to know what you do outside of this photography life.
All right.
That's what it's all about.
Okay.
Where do we ask the questions?
Okay, we can do it here. Okay, we can do it there.
Okay,
That's
we'll do
where
it
I
there.
work. Okay.
Yeah, sure. That's your workspace?
Yes.
Beautiful place.
Thank
Love
you. Thank you.
it. So, are you ready? It's going to
Done.
be like very tough questions. Are you
Okay.
ready for this?
Tough ones.
Yes.
All right. I like tough questions.
All right,
Okay.
all right. Well, it's not tough though. It's super easy. What's on the agenda for today? What do you have in mind, or like, what's the plan?
Okay. I'm going out of Colombo.
Okay.
Since we have a little bit of time, right?
Yeah.
Like we will have curfew again after 2
That's true,
days.
that's true.
I'm just trying to shoot something.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm
good.
just going out of Colombo.
Okay. So, what do you exactly do for living? In the sense, Vurtiya Kadina Monanda Karani, if I were to ask.
Okay. I'm a tea taster.
Okay.
A tea taster by profession.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tea taster by profession.
Okay. Then I have some investments.
Okay.
After tea taster, I would like to say I'm an entrepreneur.
You're an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we can say it's safe to say that you're a tea taster by profession, but you do have other investments as well. Okay.
Something like that.
Okay.
Yes.
So what got you into this photography field, or like how did you start? What is the inception?
Okay. It's a long story.
Okay.
Okay. I'll make it as short as possible.
Okay. Cool.
I wanted to be just an observer
Okay.
of nature and wildlife.
Okay.
That I've been doing for a long time.
Okay.
And then there is a wedding.
Okay.
Okay. So
You got hitched.
kind of. Yeah. Then Rasanga Disanayaka.
Okay.
Rasangaya gatta api ape.
Oh, appreciate it. Yeah.
So he was doing that, and he was kind of he's very engaging.
Yeah,
Like
he
he's not just taking the photograph and
True.
like මම දන්නේ කොහොමද මේ background එක blur වෙලා අපි විතරක් focus එකේ දීලා. So I was asking all the questions. He was very nice guy.
Yeah, and precise about all the
he's
details.
so much like he taught me the basics, I would say. So I was kind of really into that after that.
You just got into it.
Yeah.
Sudden
So-
interest.
Sudden interest. Then we went to Dubai, myself and wife. Then Dubai ගියාම ඒ තියෙනවනේ offers.
Okay.
Everything is offer. So there was this
Offer.
there was this camera which was like half the price compared to Sri Lanka.
Okay.
I just bought it just because it was cheap.
Cheap, yeah.
Right? That was the start.
ලාභයට තියෙනවා
ලාභයට.
as well.
Yeah. මේ ගානට ගන්න බෑ. You know the Sri Lankans, yeah? So I bought it and that was the start.
Okay, so that's how it all started.
It came with a kit lens. So I was taking, butterflies, bees and all. Then I bought some, third party lenses.
Yeah.
And I was doing a little bit of wildlife, showing it to my friends, Nishanta and those guys. And they were saying, okay, this is good. Why don't you try the competitions? Then I started competition. I started winning. Then I thought, okay, there is something.
I'm pretty good at it.
Maybe, yeah.
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 So that was the start.
That's the start.
Interesting. Okay. So if I were to ask what right now that you know about photography, right? If you wanted to pick a camera, what would be the main features that you look into, considering that you're a wildlife photographer?
Okay. I have two bodies, main bodies. One is a very fast, normal, the image sensor is like 21 megapixel,
Okay.
but it's fast.
Okay.
It has like 15 frames per second.
Okay.
It is good for action, good for low light. And it doesn't, you don't need the perfect condition for that.
Okay.
So it's a perfect wildlife camera.
Okay.
Apart from that, I like to take, I like to have as much as details when I shoot.
Yeah.
So for that, I have a 50 megapixel camera, which is very slow.
Okay.
What I'm doing is very unconventional.
Okay.
I told somebody about
Like two extremes.
two extremes.
Yeah.
Plus, there is only one guy I know use that camera for wildlife. He's in USA.
Okay.
Apart from him, I don't know anyone in the world who
Okay.
uses a 50 megapixel very slow camera.
Yeah.
But it's funny. Whatever I have won, if I line up, because of the clarity, because of the detail,
Yeah.
you can crop it,
Yeah.
and you can crop really tight. You know, like about like 80% out. Yes.
You could capture the
You
right
could capture,
moment
yeah.
that you want. Perfect. Okay. How do you manage your time between your work, your new married life, or
Okay.
like, not new anymore, I guess, not new. So work, family, and photography. Because I
Okay.
know you do go into like a lot of photography tours and stuff.
Yes, I do a lot.
Yes.
And without my wife,
Yeah.
who does like, I have 2 daughters, right? So one is like 7, other one is 4.
Okay.
It's not
Still young.
easy, still
Oh,
very
I
young.
bet.
You,
Yeah.
you know how they are, like,
Yeah.
very active. And she does a really good job. Without her support,
You don't think you'd be able
no
to
way,
do this
no,
freely?
no way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that support I get, and then apart from that, I get to travel a lot because of my job.
Okay.
So that's a kind of a plus point where like I get
It's
to
like 2 in 1.
2 in 1, plus I run my own business.
Yeah.
And I don't work for anyone.
So it's flexible hours.
Flexible hours. It has become so flexible now. So I keep like 2-3 days for tea tasting and meeting the client, about 7 days.
Yeah, and then the rest of the 4 days you'll be doing your own.
The rest of the 7 days.
Oh,
So I'm talking about
come
10
on.
days.
Okay, so that's how it goes.
Yes.
All right. So you would say to manage time, what would be the most important factor again?
Wife.
Having a helpful,
Having-
having a helpful partner.
Yes.
That's actually so true,
Yes,
right?
exactly,
In
yeah.
life. Yeah. So my next question is, if you were to pick a lens,
Okay.
go to one lens.
One lens.
What do you pick and why?
Okay. I would go for 100 400. 100 to 400.
Okay.
Because it's a very versatile lens. I have done some photos with that 50 megapixel camera.
Yeah.
So if you're not worrying too much about your bokeh,
Yeah.
if you're going for the details,
Yeah.
you can still make really good pictures with 100
Pictures
400.
out of
It's
it,
a very one thing is it's really fast.
Yeah.
Other thing is it's very easy to handle.
Yeah.
Plus, if you're asking me to name one lens,
No, I'm gonna be like, this is the only lens I'm gonna give
Yes.
you for this 1 year. What are you gonna pick?
yeah,
100 to
100 to
400.
400.
Okay. Okay, aside from wildlife photography, now that we know that you're so into it, is there any other style that you want to play around with or like get into in future?
Yes, it's kind of. I mean, I have tried landscape. I have tried portrait. This is something I want to tell others also.
Yeah.
Sometimes you are not really good at other things. I have tried. I'm not. I mean, I
And
have
you realize that you're not so good
good
at
at
it?
yes. So
Okay.
I like
But
to
hey,
stick
I've
to
seen your portrait pictures. They're pretty good. I've seen you taking pictures of your kids.
yes. I would say it's okay.
Okay, okay.
But I would like to go for more monochrome kind of. I'm still doing it with wildlife, with only wildlife.
Wildlife, like a monochrome portfolio. Want to create
Yes,
that
kind of thing. I was really afraid to do that at the beginning of my career. I didn't know whether I will have a proper reception for that kind of thing. Then I met David Lloyd in Kenya, master of monochrome.
Yeah.
He said, don't worry about other people. Don't think what others are going to say about your work.
You do.
Just do whatever you like. And he saying, I mean, it's kind of, he's kind of a very big name in the industry.
Okay.
So if he's saying like, okay, don't worry, and if he has a real nice portfolio of monochrome, why not me? So I have done that, but I was afraid to put that on FB or Instagram because I was not sure.
So it's not really a separate genre or whatever, but it's the same thing. But
Same thing, but I want
differentiate it.
exactly.
Okay. What is your favorite part of being a photographer?
Well, even to date, my biggest kind of hobby is I like to travel.
Yeah.
I like to travel.
Yeah.
That's like.
So you get to travel and explore different
exactly,
people,
and
cultures.
plus you get to see different kind of species every day.
Yeah.
And not only there had been dates, there had been instances like I go for photography for some places.
Yeah.
But for about half an hour, maybe 1 hour, I have not done a single shot because I was like kind of
enjoying the moment.
Enjoying the moment. Sometimes it's kind of mesmerizing.
Yeah.
You want
like sit and take it in because that's what you initially wanted
Yeah,
to do.
absolutely. In one incident I really wanted to mention, I was in Mexico. there were millions and millions of monarch butterflies.
Okay.
They were coming from Canada and USA for wintering. And it's kind of, I couldn't take a picture for about 1 hour. I was just like watching around.
You're like, what is
yes,
this?
exactly.
Yeah, it's like, am I in heaven?
Yeah, that's one thing if you're not a photographer, if you're just a traveler, you won't see kind of, that kind of things. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Okay, my next question for you, Mr. Lakshitha Karunarathna, would be, what are some tips you'd give to someone who want to take photographs like you, or who would want to enter into wildlife photography specifically?
Okay. Biggest advice, no shortcuts. I mean, even if you do portraits, monochrome, landscape, architecture, whatever photography, there are no shortcuts.
Okay.
Right? You have to go through that,
Process.
Learning curve, plus you have to spend a lot of time in the field. You have to know kind of behaviors of animals. Then it becomes, photography becomes kind of it gives a little easiness when you know the behavior. You know what's going to happen. And this learning thing is never ending thing. So you have keep on. So no shortcuts.
Okay.
No shortcuts. Okay, before the next question.
Yes.
Shall we grab something? You want to
What
drink
do you have?
something? I'm a tea taster. I have
Let's
tea.
go see.
I have tea. I have juice.
I think I'll grab a juice, maybe, if you have any.
Okay.
So, Kantai, can I ask you a question while they are?
Yeah, we'll do it. Okay.
So, how did the quarantine season affected your workflow or
Very much.
general life?
Very much.
Yeah?
I had to cancel 4 trips so far.
Okay.
2 to US.
Being a big of a traveler, yeah, I can.
2 to US, 1 to UK, and 1 to Mexico.
Okay.
So it's
throughout for the 3 months.
Yeah, it's killing.
Not so good, eh?
So I can give you tea. I can give you coffee.
I'll grab something cold. What do you have?
Cold?
Yeah.
Okay, you have. What do you want? Juice, soda.
Yeah, vanilla flavored milk. Oh no, actually you have that one.
Yeah.
Whatever, king coconut water.
King coconut water, yeah. Don't worry, it's all. I have done the proper cleaning.
Okay, cool.
So no corona. Don't worry.
Okay, thank you. I'll drink that. So, since you said that you have been home for the past 2 to 3 months, did you pick up on any new hobbies, or like did you start cooking, gardening, anything new?
Okay, not anything new. I picked up something where I left off.
Okay.
In somewhere down the reading.
Oh, reading.
I've been reading a lot. Like when I was even a school kid, I was like reading all the time.
Okay.
So I have a good kind of collection.
Yeah.
So I started reading them again.
Because you had like plenty of time. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. We'll go back to our seats.
Okay.
Explain me the process of the whole location scouting part and the pre-production of your photography.
Yeah, that's kind of really important thing. So, okay.
Tell me more.
What I do is I have done. About, if you say, like 90% of my photography is out of Sri Lanka.
Yes.
So what I do is I always check where the sun comes from, what will be the
direction?
what direction. Like I go into, even the smallest detail. So I check everything on the internet first, and then I have kind of friends all over the world because I have met them on the field, and so I try to talk to them. If I know some people who had been there before, I try to talk to them. One such place is like Lake Kerkini. So it's full of Dalmatian pelicans. It's a beautiful place.
Okay.
So I didn't have anyone to talk. So I was trying my luck. I was right into all the kind of restaurants around the lake, and then I picked up one person who seems to be knowing everything very well, and then he became a friend, and then I went there. So he had given me all the information. I've done like 5 days there. Then Dr. Lalit went. Okay. Then Asela went. Nishanta went. Okay. So it's kind of, because of that
like
one
you kind
person.
Of paved the way to them.
Yes. But like it's kind of because of one person who knew the area really well.
So you think networking is really
important? Networking is really important. Yeah, research is really important.
Very vital.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Aside from your camera, if I were to ask you what's this favorite gear you'd be carrying to any of your photo shoots, what would that be?
Okay, there are two, a tripod and a monopod. The monopod is the one I take everywhere because it's easy to handle and it's carbon,
Yeah.
right? It's
Not
carbon, yeah, not heavy. Even my tripod is carbon, but like the
It's complex,
it's
right?
it's
Like to be
complex,
like
yeah. So out of both, I would say the monopod.
monopod.
Yeah.
Okay. What is some of the best advices you've ever received? Not in photography, but generally in life that you've taken in, like you're doing it now. What is
Okay.
that advice?
There was a principal, A.P. Gunratna.
Okay.
He was our principal up until 1994.
What's the school?
Ananda College.
Okay.
Right? So he was always telling us, if you are honest to your work, if you are, whatever you do, whether it is photography, whether it is tea tasting, whatever. So he said in general, you have to be hardworking, you have to be kind of, dedicate yourself. Yes, that's all true. But the most important thing, you have to be honest to your work. I didn't get it. I was thinking, what is it? What is being honest to your work?
To your work. Yeah. Being honest to a friend, you get it.
Yeah. Then when I was getting, kind of older and like, mature, then I realized what he was saying was, if you have to do something, in a perfect way, or like at least try to be a little kind of perfect, you have to, if there are things like sometimes it may be affecting your work, maybe sometimes you might not get your best shot.
Yeah.
But you know that you have tried your best, level best, honestly, right?
Yeah.
That is being honest to your work.
Yeah.
You are not taking shortcuts.
Yeah.
You are not taking kind of, unethical things. You are not doing it.
Yeah.
Right? That is being honest to your work.
Yeah.
So, I realized it later.
Yeah.
But it was kind of a really good.
So that's like a statement, like be honest to whatever that you
do.
Okay. Tell us about the awards you've received. I know I've seen your Facebook. You have like lots of very well-known and like super like top-notch awards. Tell us about them.
Okay, I have won a few like kind of very I would say high-end wildlife competitions. Pinnacle, I would say the nature's the nature's best.
Yeah.
That is, if you want to name two biggest wildlife competitions in the world, nature's best is one. WPY is kind of the biggest.
Yeah.
So these are the two main events.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a surprise for me also, because when I took that shot, it's a shot of 5 lionesses. When I took that shot, I knew it was special. At that moment itself, I wanted to do it kind of monochrome shot. Monochrome post edit.
Yeah.
So I did it. I sent it to Nature's Best. I went into the last round, and they said like I'm in the semi-finals. So I was happy, and then I went to Svalbard. Svalbard is kind of away from Norway, like 3 hours, and I was searching for polar bears. I was in a ship, so no internet, nothing.
Yeah.
So as I came back to Longyearbyen, that is the northernmost city in the world.
Okay.
There you get kind of signals.
Yeah.
So I got an email saying that the big boss of Nature's Best, he was asking questions like whether you will be free to travel in November. Can you come to USA?
You're like, what is going on?
I knew then at that point I knew that I have won something, because you have about 12 different categories. You have the African wildlife, you have the birds, you have macro photography, kind of things. So I thought I have won the African wildlife because it was in the African wildlife
region. Yeah.
So I said yes, I can come, no problem. Then I took a flight from Longyearbyen to Oslo. As I landed, I normally check my emails. Then there was this email saying that I have won the grand prize.
No way.
The big one.
Yes.
So
that is like one of the most well-recognized awards in the field of photography, or like in the entire world, right? Yeah.
They have been doing that for I think 25 years now.
That's great.
So I think no one.
To this country.
He can't. I would say,
crazy.
I mean, no one in the region had won that. Yeah. Some people have won the category prizes.
Prizes, but this was the grand prize.
Yeah. So it was kind of big, very big.
Yeah, it is really, really big. So congratulations to that. I know it's late, but still.
Yeah, that was like the biggest one.
Was the
and
biggest,
then I won the grand prize of Africa Photographer of the Year. and I won the second prize of Sanctuary. It's a really tough competition in India.
Okay.
Then I won the bird category of Oasis. Then I won commended awards from Memorial Maria Luisa, Bird Photographer of the Year. Okay, I have won. I am the only triple finalist of Big Picture. Big Picture is California Academy of Sciences.
Okay.
So they do that every year. It's a really tough competition.
Yeah.
So there's this category called the wing life.
Yeah.
So you have all the animals which has wings.
Okay.
Right, including
Wing life.
Okay, they have the birds, butterflies.
Anything who has wings. Yes.
So they select 5 photographs.
Yeah.
Out of 5, 3 was mine, and they thought like it was a mistake because it's a blind process.
Yeah.
So they see the same name coming over and over again.
Keep coming. It's like, wait, what?
They said that in the award ceremony as well. So it was kind of, yeah, those are big awards.
So out of 5, 3 of them were yours.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well,
And
it's an honor to be doing this interview.
Thank you. That had never happened before.
Really? So you've set some world records for us, huh?
I would say, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. So, you won all these awards. How do you stay inspired? Like, if I were you, I'd be content with this one award. Like, I won all that, and then I'll probably get lazy over it.
Okay.
How do you stay inspired?
Okay, 2 things.
Yeah.
One is there's this person, Sir David Attenborough, 94 years.
Yeah.
He had he's like a world treasure, I would say, but officially he's a national treasure of UK, knighted, okay, for his documentary works.
Okay.
At 94 years,
Yeah.
right, he celebrated his birthday about a month ago.
Yeah.
He's still working, still doing documentaries.
Okay.
94 years.
Yeah.
So if he can do that, he was like kind of the biggest inspiration for me from the very small days.
Yeah.
So I have seen more, I think I would say almost everything of
Documentary and
everything.
his work.
Yeah. So he keeps on doing that, even though he's not
At the age of 94.
at the age of 94. If he can do that,
What
where are we?
I know,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of
That's
Yeah.
what keeps you going.
Yeah.
Okay. So, interesting question for you.
okay.
I know you're gonna love this. What do you spend money on most other than the gear? I know you're a big spender.
Okay. Okay.
He's a crazy shopper, guys. He's a crazy shopper. I know that. I've been shopping with this guy.
Okay, there are 2 things which I can't mention right now.
Yeah, okay,
You know
okay.
what them. Okay.
Oh, yes.
The third thing would say the books.
Like, he buys anything and everything. He wants like everything. Anything he sees, he'd buy.
I like buying I've stopped after doing photography. I've stopped buying watches.
Okay.
But
So you like have color. You have like different like
I have.
seasons.
Yeah, I have.
Seasons
Yeah.
of different things. Okay, so what's the next country or place you want to go to that you've never been before though? This has to be like a brand new place that you have in your mind.
Yes, it is in my mind, and I've been trying to do that last year. I'm trying to do that this year. Maybe not.
This year too.
Yeah, maybe
Next
in
year,
2021.
coming, yeah.
It's not a country. It's an island.
Okay.
Belongs to UK, Falkland. It has about 6 different penguins.
Okay.
They have their colonies there.
Okay.
So myself, Dr. Lalit and Nishant was trying to go there
Okay.
in 2019,
Okay.
couldn't because of this corona thing, and then even this year we are not sure.
Okay.
So definitely in
So
2020.
2019, it was probably the bomb attack that.
No, it's in the end.
Oh, towards
It's in
the
the
end
end.
you couldn't go. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So you
Oh,
go
yeah.
around December or early December.
So that wasn't
No,
possible.
because even in December there were problems.
Yeah.
So we didn't want to, and we didn't know even at that time it would be something like this
Yeah, it
at
would be
this big scale.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. So we will try to go this year, if not next year.
Okay, cool. So your last question: Who should we interview next? If I were to ask you who should we interview next, who would you say and why?
Okay. There are 2 persons immediately comes into my mind now that you have done Lalit.
Yes.
These are the people I work with. Dr. Lalit.
I'm gonna bother you. In fact, Dr. Lalit, I asked him who should we interview next.
Okay.
He mentioned you.
All right. Okay.
Yes. Just letting it out.
So I have 2 people in my mind.
Yes.
Lakshitha Karunarathna, Nishant Manjula.
Okay.
Right. These are like
Manjula is
he's
not in the country.
not in the
Yes,
country. He's
yeah.
in Aussie. So probably Asela.
Okay.
Right? I have done trips with all three of them. They're really nice to work with. You know, it's very. I mean, they're very supportive. Sometimes Dr. Lalit had supported with all when he was in the Navy. He had supported with all the approvals and sometimes with the facilities to go and do wildlife in places that we have never been before. So he was very helpful. And with Asel, I've done work. I've been to Greece. I've been to Mana in different places.
Okay, so
Nishant, I have been to all those places.
Okay.
He's kind of like very close to
Best
me.
buddy? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right.
So yes, so since Nishant is not here, I would say
Asela. So
Asela.
I'll definitely try to get to Asela.
Yeah,
and see.
he's also not in Colombo.
Oh yeah, okay. So I'll
He's based
see
in
what are the possibilities. If I could get him, I'll surely get him.
All right.
Thank you so much for your time. It was
Thank you for
amazing.
coming.
Oh
Yes.
no, thank you for having me. Thank you for giving us your time.
No problem.
And I shall see you at some point.
Thank you. See you then.
A safe long weekend and good luck.
Same to you.
Bye now.
Bye.